All right, diving in today, we're going deep on a sneaky performance culprit in Ruby on Rails apps.
Yep, the dreaded N+1 queries, lurking in active record.
We've got some really solid material you sent over that lays out this trap and how to get around it with
And
includes.
really good code examples, too, I thought.
Yeah, yeah. Our mission here, right, is to make sure by the time we're done, you totally get this problem and the fix, which is actually surprisingly easy.
So first things first, what exactly are we talking about when we say N+1 query?
Okay, so in the simplest terms, it's a really inefficient way your Rails app can end up pulling data that's related from the database. Like, picture a classic blog setup.
Okay, articles and comments, right?
Yeah, you got it. An article model, and that has many comments, and of course, each comment belongs to an article. The sources you gave, they nail this.
Yeah, and they show how you might, intuitively try to display like the 5 most recent articles with their comments, right?
Totally, yeah.
You'd, in your controller, do something like article.limit5. Makes sense.
Yep. Then in the view, you'd loop through each of those articles, and for each one, fetch its comments. So you've got this nested loop situation at articles.each, do article.comments.each, and so on. Seems logical, but
But there's a hidden cost. Each time you're grabbing those comments, you're triggering a whole new database query.
so 5 articles means we're not doing just one query.
Nope. One for the articles, then 5 more, one for each article's comments. And that's the N+1 pattern right there.
So it's the 1 plus the n. And the logs in those sources, they actually showed this happening, didn't they?
Oh, yeah, clear as day. All those comment load queries popping up after the initial article load.
Okay, so 6 queries instead of 1. Not the end of the world.
Not for 5 articles, no. But imagine if you had hundreds, thousands of articles.
Right. That's where the graph you shared was so eye-opening. The page load time, it basically shot up in a straight line the more articles you had.
Yeah, and at 30 articles, it was taking, what was it, over 2 seconds.
Over 2 seconds just to load comments. That's a huge delay in web terms.
Users are going to notice. They'll bounce.
They absolutely will. So what's the solution? You mentioned includes earlier.
That's the hero here. Active records includes.
It's like telling Rails, hey, while you're at it, grab everything we're going to need up front.
Exactly. Think of it as optimizing your grocery shopping. One big trip, not a bunch of little ones. So that controller code, it transforms. You'd have article.includes.comments.limit5.
Right, and the view, that stays the same.
Yep, no changes there. But behind the scenes, it's totally different. Those 6 queries, they get squashed down into just 2.
So in the sources, they show one query for the articles themselves.
And then a second one that grabs all the relevant comments in one go, uses an IN clause in the SQL.
Nice. Much smarter. And that performance difference, I mean, it's not subtle, right?
Oh no, it's night and day. The example they gave, the time went from 408 milliseconds down to 161.
Huge.
And that second graph, the one with includes, that flat line as the articles increase, that's what we want.
Beautiful. So how does includes actually do this? It's eager loading, right? What's the mechanism there?
Okay, so eager loading is basically like Rails knows you'll need that related data. So it proactively loads it all up front into this temporary in-memory cache. Think of it as a little shortcut. The name Rails gives it is at association cache.
Makes sense.
So then when your view's like, hey, I need the comments for this article,
Mm.
Rails doesn't have to go back to the database. It's got them right there in that cache.
And the code examples really showed that. Like with includes, the cache is all populated with .comments. Without it, it's empty.
Yep, exactly. That's the proof.
Okay, so big takeaway here. Dealing with collections of stuff in your Rails app, and you need the related data too. Includes is your friend. It'll save you from that N+1 slowdown.
Absolutely. A small change in your controller can make your app feel so much snappier. Users will love it.
And that brings up a point. It seems like these little inefficiencies, they can really snowball as your application grows, right?
Oh, totally. The more data you have, the bigger the problem gets.
Yeah.
And it makes you think,
Yeah.
beyond this specific N+1 thing, where else are we maybe not being proactive enough? Like, if we think more carefully about how data is fetched and used, could we make huge gains elsewhere too? I bet we could.
That's a great point to ponder. Thanks for the insights.
My pleasure.
And thanks to you all for joining the deep dive. Catch you next time.